The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reverend DeFrost L. Raphael of the AME Zion Church on the Hill will deliver today's invocation.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. Eternal God, on this third day of January of the year 2024, we gather in this august body, but we cannot gather unless you gather with us. In a season when all of our institutions are under attack, and when more and more of the citizens of this great land feel as though those who represent them do not in fact represent them, we ask that you would help us to understand that this is not a job, but it is a privilege to serve. We ask you to wrap your loving arms of protection and safety around all of those, regardless of whether they are believers or not. Help them, help us to understand that the work that we do not just for ourselves, but we do for one another. Help us to see, O Lord, that the lie of the zero-sum game has no place here, that we all thrive when any one of us thrives, and when any one of us is brought low, we are all brought low. So help us, O Lord, to govern first ourselves and our own anxieties, but to govern that which the people who have elected us to govern. Be with them, strengthen them, help them to do what it is that they need to do, knowing that they are not their brothers, they are not just their brothers and their sisters' keepers. They, in fact, are their brothers and they are their sisters. This we ask in your name and for your sake and glory. And then the whole house said, Amen. Amen.
The Secretary will call the roll to ascertain a quorum.
Senator Addabbo. Senator Ashby. Senator Bailey. Senator Borrello. Senator Breslin. Senator Brisport. Senator Brooke. Senator Kanzanite Fitzpatrick. Senator Chu. Senator Claire. Senator Comrie. Senator Cooney. Senator Felder. Senator Fernandez. Senator Gallivan. Senator Gianaris. Senator Gonzalez. Senator Gunardez. Senator Griffo. Senator Harkin. Senator Hellman. Senator Hinchy. Senator Hoyman Siegel. Senator Jackson. Senator Kavanaugh. Senator Kennedy. Senator Kruger. Senator Lanza. Senator Liu. Senator Mannion. Senator Martinez. Senator Matera.
Quorum is present and the Senate may proceed. Let me start by acknowledging Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, Deputy Leader Gianaris, Deputy Minority Leader Lanza. As President of the Senate, it is my distinct honor to welcome all of you to the 2024 legislative session. With every new year comes a new set of challenges, and with those challenges, a new set of opportunities. And with this in mind, my hope is that we collectively seek out the opportunity to serve the good people of New York with a renewed sense of genuine service. What I mean by this is a form of service that is grounded in commitments that go well beyond personal interest, or party affiliation. Rather, we orient ourselves towards a higher purpose, with our eyes set on achieving the greater good for the benefit of all New Yorkers. In my estimation, this requires focusing on what the great Dr. King Jr. once called, quote, unenforceable obligations. As Dr. King explained, these obligations are, quote, beyond the reach of the laws of society. They concern inner attitudes, genuine person-to-person relations, and expressions of compassion that law books cannot regulate and jails cannot rectify. Dr. King continues, quote, such obligations are met by one's commitment to an inner law, written on the heart. Man-made laws assure justice, but a higher law produces, love. These are powerful words that resonate particularly so given the divisive, violent, and hate-filled times we are living through. And as leaders, it is incumbent upon all of us to set the example and to lead with the light of love and the spirit of unity. I don't believe any of us here were inspired to serve by the opportunity to stoke fear and anger in people. We serve because we are inspired in one way or the other by love, love of God, love of humanity, love of country, love of state, love of community, love of family, love of freedom, love of equality, love of truth, love of justice, and love of democracy. So as we commence the 2024 legislative session and take on the awesome responsibility of making enforceable laws in this body, let us do so while committing ourselves to that inner unenforceable law written on each of our hearts, and in so doing ensure that our work here is anchored in our capacity to love. This, my friends, is how I plan to step into 2024, along with Governor Hochul, ready to collaborate, cooperate, and build with each and every one of you in the spirit of genuine service. So let's get to work. Senator Gianaris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we proceed to regular business, I just want to recognize that, as we all know, this is Senator Kennedy's final session with us, and Senator Kennedy's always thinking about the future, so he's brought with him a potential replacement in the future. His son, Connor Kennedy, is with us, so we can all welcome Connor here for the proceedings today. And now let's proceed with the regular business, Mr. President.
Of petitions, messages from the Assembly, messages from the Governor. The Secretary will read.
Dear Majority Leader Stewart-Cousins, I would appreciate the privilege of appearing before your honorable bodies in joint session on January 9, 2024 at 1 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be convenient to personally deliver my annual message of the state to the legislature. Very yours truly, Governor Kathy Hochul.
The message shall be filed in the Journal. Reports on standing committees, reports of select committees, communications and reports from state officers, motions and resolutions. Senator Gianaris.
Mr. President, we may notice that the Minority Leader, Senator Ort, is not with us. He's a little bit under the weather today, so please recognize Senator Lanza for opening remarks.
Senator Lanza.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Gianaris. Majority Leader Stewart-Cousins, Majority Floor Leader Senator Gianaris, to all my colleagues, Connor, all those present in this body today, Mr. President, Lieutenant Governor, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It is always exciting to be back. It's exciting to be in this chamber. It's exciting, and I think we are all grateful to have the opportunity to do the people's work, and that's what we are here to do. You may notice that myself and my colleagues, I notice a lot of people in the body are wearing blue today. I don't want Senator Gianaris to get too excited. We are not converting to the Democratic Party. Majority Leader was getting excited about a super duper majority. We wear blue in solidarity with Israel and for our Jewish and Israeli neighbors here in New York and in America. As they withstand the evil that was unleashed upon them on October 7th. The same evil that crept into the Garden of Eden thousands of years ago, which has gone by many names: fascism, racism, and today, names like Hezbollah and Hamas. Whatever form it takes and whatever name it goes by, we stand united in opposition, and we stand in solidarity with our friends in Israel. That is why this conference, and I know in your conference, Majority Leader, we have traveled the state and met with groups, and we have an anti-Semitism task force. We need, and we must make a priority in the new year, legislation and policy that will once and for all end the blight of hate and anti-Semitism in this state. So it's a new year. As Senator Borrello would say, it's a new hope. Senator Gianaris, it's a new hope and a new beginning. Some might call it a clean slate. The difficulty with new beginnings and clean slates is that while you can erase the words from the blackboard, you must still deal with the consequences of the policies and the words that were written there before. And unfortunately, Mr. President, here in New York, New Yorkers are doing just that. We see crime at historic levels. And remember, with every crime, there is a victim. We see the price of everything out of control. Hundreds of dollars do not come close to filling the cart at the grocery store anymore. We see the fentanyl crisis not getting better, but getting worse, as we watch thousands of New Yorkers every year losing their life to this terrible blight. People can't afford to make ends meet in New York. There are a lot of reasons, but they are being gouged most by the government itself, the government which is here allegedly to help. Taxes are off the chart in this state. If you are a working family in New York, you pay more taxes than anywhere else in America, and people do not believe, talk to people across New York, they don't believe they're getting anywhere close to value for the taxes they pay. We have a migrant crisis in New York. Not only my characterization, but my good friend, Mayor Adams, calls it just that. The governor rolls out the welcome mat, says, come to this state from anywhere in the world, we're going to give you free stuff, and then acts surprised when people take her up on the offer. In my neighborhood on Staten Island, the governor and her party evicted, so much for good cause eviction, evicted seniors and veterans from a home, and then opened that home up to migrants. And neighbors there need to watch Amazon trucks roll up all day long delivering goods and services which the citizens in that neighborhood, whose only crime is that they are American citizens, cannot even afford to pay for themselves. So we have a new beginning, but the only thing good about a new beginning is that we use it to solve problems. So all is not lost. The spirit of New York is still alive. It's weary. It's beaten down. But I truly believe that it is yearning to rise again. It is deprived of the oxygen it needs, but just in as we believe it is policies of this state which has deprived it of that oxygen, we believe that new policies can reverse that course and make things better. And yes, Mr. President, I don't want you to think I'm a negative Nelly. There are many things that we on this side of the aisle agree with our colleagues on that side of the aisle. It's just that it's more fun to talk about the disagreements. More importantly, it's important to talk about them because that's where the action is. That's where we are going to hammer out and decide the future of this state. We look forward to working with our colleagues. We will embrace every opportunity where there is agreement. We will roll up our sleeves. We vow to you that we will act in bipartisan fashion, but we also, Mr. President, have a solemn vow to express our disagreement, to debate the issues, and to advance the policies that we believe are better for the state of New York when that happens. I hope we can do it civilly. I hope we can do it in friendship. But under Senator Ort's leadership, we on this side of the aisle will do just that. Again, thank you, Majority Leader, thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Minority Leader. It's good to know that love has the last word. And Senator Gianaris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me thank our own personal Phantom Menace, Senator Lanza. Please recognize Supermajority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins for her opening remarks.
Happy New Year. Again, to the Lieutenant Governor, it's really good to have you in the chamber. Thank you for your insightful words and for your message. You're always welcome here. Happily not to break any ties, but just to preside and remind us again of the love that we must bring to this chamber. And I want to thank my good friend, Reverend DeForest Raphael, who's accompanied by his lovely wife, Veronica. Thank you for giving us a message that we can certainly take with us, not only today, but throughout. And then, of course, to the Deputy Minority Leader, I did think that this was a mass conversion. I said, look at all this blue. They must be ready to join and go forward together. It's good to see all of you, no matter what color you're wearing. And, you know, when you were talking about the terrible situation in Israel in this war with Hamas, I know each and every one of us are praying, as we continue to do, for peace and for an opportunity, really, to create an environment that allows for each of us to not deal with the hatreds and the isms. Part of why we don't deal with international things in this conference is because we could spend a lot of time talking about the ills of the international community. Personally, and I think collectively, we are better off spending our time presenting an example right here in this great state, in this chamber, that hopefully will be a model for not only the people we represent in our state, but the country and the world. So I appreciate everything that's been said. I feel like it's more of a prayer that we've begun with. So, as you were saying, Deputy Leader Lanza, I guess it's more fun to talk about how we disagree, but it's more productive, I think, for the people of New York to talk about how we agree. So I will begin with doing the things that we normally do, which is to welcome everyone back and to certainly welcome our staff back. I hope you are well rested because, you know, it's going to be, it's going to be a very, very fun and productive year. I also want to give a special welcome. We've talked about this before, but we have one of our newest fathers here in the chamber, Deputy Leader Mike Gianaris and his wife. Welcome the baby girl. So when we talk about being well-rested, we know somebody's not well-rested. So Senator Lanza, in your capacity, please be kind to him because he's going to need a little extra until we get past those all-nighters. This session marks an opportunity for us to reaffirm our commitment to the principles that have defined the Democratic majority in our mission. And again, I often say, we've only been in charge for 5 years. The Republicans in blue had the better part of 100 years. I'm just looking for parity. So our majority and our mission, we've always fought for the middle and working class, and our conference proudly represents the diversity within our ranks, a diversity that mirrors the tapestry of New York. As we embark on this legislative journey, we must remember why we're here, and it's been said over and over again. We're here to serve the people of New York, to address their needs, to make their lives better. We're here to build an economy that helps all New Yorkers and works for everyone. It's our responsibility to prioritize the issues that matter most to working people across this state. Over the past few years, we've made significant strides in tackling the most pressing concerns facing our constituents and have fought to make our state a more equitable place where everyone can prosper. We always knew that the key to New York's success lay in the advancement of our working and middle-class families. From the very beginning, we recognized the importance of paid family leave, ensuring that New Yorkers can take care of their loved ones without jeopardizing financial stability. We made a steadfast commitment to fully fund our schools, understanding that education is the cornerstone of opportunity and social mobility. And we expanded access to childcare, helping parents better juggle the demands of work and family. Our investment in universal pre-kindergarten brought us one step closer to leveling the playing field for every child in this state. And our historic funding of free school meals helps ensure that more children today, their most basic needs are met during the school day. We also increased the earned income tax credit to provide a much-needed boost to low-income families. We raised the minimum wage so that our workers can now make a living wage across the state. We've also made it clear that public safety and justice are not mutually exclusive, and we will continue to make that very important point. Our conference has always looked to ease daily burdens and strengthen our fundamental support systems. However, despite these accomplishments, we must acknowledge that many New Yorkers are still struggling and they feel the pinch in their wallets. The most significant cost burden facing our constituents today is housing. The soaring cost of living in New York threatens the very essence of our state's identity. It's time for us to develop a comprehensive plan that not only protects tenants, including the principles of good cause, and I'm glad you talked about this eviction situation, I know you'll be supporting, but also paves the way for the construction of new affordable housing. And while every New Yorker deserves a safe, affordable place to live, we also believe that the location of your home should not dictate the quality of your child's education. Our conference has fought tirelessly to invest in public education and ensure every school, regardless of zip code, receives adequate funding. We cannot ignore the crucial role that education plays in creating pathways to the middle class. Our commitment to childcare, after-school programs is essential for working parents who need support to provide for their families. We must continue to fully fund our schools while also keeping higher education within reach for people of all socioeconomic backgrounds. It's imperative that we continue investing in our public colleges and universities because an advanced degree shouldn't have to be a financial burden, but rather a stepping stone towards a brighter future for all. Central to our state's future is our commitment to fighting climate change and promoting energy affordability so that our necessary green transition will not be at the expense of working-class households and small businesses. For too long, too many of the big utility companies have wasted ratepayer dollars through unjust billing practices and exploitative rate increases. It's time to keep that money where it belongs, in people's pockets, by holding these corporations accountable. As a conference, we've made great strides towards helping all New Yorkers get access to low-cost renewable energy with the expansion of tax credits for solar and geothermal, and with our landmark legislation last year to allow New York to build its own publicly owned renewables. We also know that our clean energy future comes in partnership with our brothers and sisters in labor who have been and will continue to be a key part of these solutions. Their tireless efforts have been the bedrock of our state's progress and prosperity. We'll remain staunch advocates for fair wages, safe working conditions, and workers' rights. Through this ongoing partnership, New York will meet its climate goals while generating the economic growth and prosperity that our working-class families deserve. We must continue to build a strong economy and support small businesses. Under our leadership, New York will also continue to lead the nation in supporting new and expanding industries, like we did with the groundbreaking Green Chips legislation that will lead to up to $100 billion in investment by Micron in central New York. This will be transformative for the economy of upstate New York. And this session, we will again push forward strong economic policies that attract growing industries. We also provided increased funding for transportation systems across New York, including our roads and transit systems. We understand for our economy to continue to grow, we need real investments in infrastructure, and we'll continue that commitment this year. As we gather here today to mark the start of the year, we also cannot turn a blind eye to the difficult years that we've faced. The events of the past years have tested our democracy, challenged our fundamental rights, but we've emerged stronger than ever. We face, and again, it was spoken about, a refugee crisis that is not of our making, but one we certainly will have to continue to confront. We have provided over $2 billion in state aid to deal with our asylum seekers, but we cannot do this alone. New York has always been a place where we welcome our neighbors and help them to find jobs and prosperity. However, we need help from our federal partners to ensure the American dream remains alive. We stand resolute in protecting reproductive rights of our constituents. It's our duty to ensure that New York remains a safe haven for individuals to make their own choices about reproductive health. We will continue to champion policies that safeguard a person's right to choose, and we will resist any attempts to roll back the progress we've made. Every person in New York should have access to comprehensive reproductive health care without fear or interference, and we will fiercely defend these rights from national attacks that seek to undermine the autonomy and dignity of our residents. And as always, we believe the core of all personal freedoms lies in robust democratic institutions. We have all seen threats to our very democracy and freedom gain unsettling traction over the past few years, jeopardizing the precious progress we've made. Therefore, as the Senate majority has done every year, we will prioritize ensuring the right to vote is protected across New York. We must safeguard our democracy at all costs by guaranteeing that every citizen's voice is heard and that their vote counts. My friends and colleagues, we have an incredible responsibility before us. The people of New York have placed their trust in us to address their concerns, to improve their lives, and to shape the future of our great state. Together, we will continue to build a New York where everyone can afford a decent home, where energy is affordable and sustainable, where education is the gateway to opportunity. We will uphold the principles of democracy and ensure the voices of all New Yorkers are heard. We will continue our commitment to building a stronger economy that uplifts us all. Let us work together across party lines to forge a New York that reflects and respects the greatness of our people. As we begin this legislative session, let us remember what we've heard from the very beginning of today, that we are here to serve the people, and together, I'm sure, we will continue to make a positive difference in the life of all New Yorkers. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Senator Gineris.
Thank you, Mr. President. It seems that the families of our colleagues who think Washington is better than Albany are here to soak up the last few months in this beautiful chamber. So please recognize Senator Mannion's wife, Jennifer, is also with us today. Can we recognize our guests from the Assembly, please?
Members are recognized.
Hey,
Senator Gineris.
it's our turn to appoint our committees, so please take up the resolution appointing a committee of 2 to inform the governor.
Secretary will read.
Senate Resolution 1458, directing the temporary president to appoint a committee of 2 to inform the governor that the Senate is organized and ready to proceed with business.
The question is on the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Senators Kennedy and Canzoneri Fitzpatrick are appointed to inform the governor that the Senate is assembled and ready to proceed with business. Senator Gineris.
Can we now take up the resolution appointing the committee of 2 to inform the Assembly?
I will read.
Senate Resolution 1459, directing the temporary president to appoint a committee of two to wait upon the Assembly and inform that body that the state, pardon me, that the Senate is assembled and ready to proceed with business.
The question is on the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Senators True and Ashby are appointed to inform the Assembly that the Senate is assembled and ready to proceed with business. Senator Gineris.
Mr. President, the last introduction for today, I promise. Please recognize someone who has two very important jobs right now. One is as the Deputy County Executive of Westchester. Ken Jenkins is with us. Any further business at the desk?
There is no further business at the desk.
I move to adjourn until Monday, January 8th at 3 p.m., with the intervening days being legislative days.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Monday, January 8th at 3 p.m., with the intervening days being legislative days.